Amy, take us back 3 years ago. What was the job? You joined HTS as a...
So 3 years ago I joined HTS as a finance apprentice, was my job title. And then I was studying 1 day a week at college, 4 days a week working in the office.
And 3 years ago, what was your day-to-day? I know you said finance apprentice, but for us, what did that involve?
Like purchase ledger, so invoicing, more just the manual side of things, you know, putting things onto the system, that sort of stuff really. So
here we are 3 years later. Tell us what you've achieved.
So I've done level 2, 3 and 4 AAT, hoping to start CCA to become fully chartered and certified accountant. I've finished my level 4 now. I've got a new position here as a trainee accountant role.
And what support have HTS given you?
So they've allowed me to have time off to study. So 1 day a week has continued throughout. My manager, again, she supported me along the way, allowed me to obviously gain more knowledge and experience in certain tasks and roles as I've become qualified.
So as you say, it's not over yet. You now want to be
Still 2 more years.
So you want another 2 years?
Yeah.
And that will involve more exams?
9 more exams.
Is it hard?
Yeah, it is hard. Each level steps up. Obviously more written now as opposed to just the math side of things. But yeah, as long as you study and you're getting the experience as well, so that helps at the same time. It's not just sitting there, you know, looking for a textbook. You understand it because you're doing it day to day.
I was going to say, you could be at university, but you wouldn't, if you're answering the questions, you wouldn't have had that related to work experience.
Yes, the applied knowledge, obviously that helps. The fact that HTS has given me the opportunity, to work whilst learning. If you go to uni, I wouldn't have had to do level 2 and 3 like I did, but still this next level that I'm doing now, even if I would have got an accountancy degree, they would still have to do this to become like a chartered accountant. So you don't just get a degree and then you're an accountant, you'd still have to do CCA and you'd get exemptions like what I'm getting now. So you'd be in the same position.
So it could be somebody who's in sixth form at the moment or whatever age and they're thinking of maybe doing what you're doing. Would you recommend it and why?
I definitely recommend apprentice route. It allows you to obviously train on the job, get the knowledge, and it almost puts you in a better position rather than going to uni, getting a degree, and then you've got no experience. So definitely, yeah.
Councillor Bob Davis, what's your role here at HTS and especially in relation to the apprenticeships?
As one of the directors, we've all got different responsibilities. I've got 2. One is to look after the apprentices or make sure we recruit enough apprentices, which we aim to recruit 10 a year. And the other is corporate social responsibility, because HTS really want to be a player in the community.
Why are apprenticeships important?
I did an indentured apprenticeship where it's basically a contract. My father had to sign a contract, and if I messed up on that, we could have been fined or taken to court. I mean, it was that way it was then, but it was a long while ago, and I think it was on slate. It wasn't on paper because it was that long ago. But the apprentices, I did my indentured apprenticeship in engineering and learnt from that other skills like plumbing and things like that. And I'd like to be in a position to give people the same type of help, really, to get along. If they're keen to do it and they don't muck about and they do the training, then we'd assist.
I mean, this isn't political, but going to university can be expensive, can't it? You know, you could end up £40,000 plus. So if you want to be in, for example, Amy's example, you know, this also saves a lot of money.
Well, yeah, but I never did go to university. I took a trade and did the training at college and night school, things like that. But I had got the experience, and I think my view is that people just going straight to university, they could do the training, get the qualifications, but haven't got a clue where to start in the real world. I think apprentice route is very good.
And in your time working with What's the correct term? Is it non-executive?
Yeah, non-executive director. It's still a director legally, because if anything goes wrong, we're in trouble. But non-executive means to say that we don't have day-to-day control. We look at the strategy.
And what's your impression of HTS in the time you've been a non-executive director?
Well, I'm really pleased to be a part of it, because I think we do a lot of good work. We've managed to come through this COVID thing, although we've still got it, and we've provided a service where other companies would have just packed up, I think. But it's the attitude of the workforce. The attitude of the workforce, the attitude of the apprentices. We've had some really good apprentices. I think it's a general thing about HTS care for people.
What do you mean by care for people?
I think they care about the community. They'd rather do it good than harm. They put themselves out. We've done, lots of our employees have put themselves out in different charities, doing loads of things, climbing up mountains. I think Amy did as well. Cycle rides and things like that. Having a monthly draw for St Clair's, going to functions for St Clair's, but obviously a lot of that's stopped at the moment. But yeah, I think there's just a different mind frame from other companies.
And finally, going back to the apprentices, would you like to, you say 10 at the moment, in an ideal world, would you like to see more, or is it quality, not quantity?
No, we did 10. We've actually got 7 at the moment. We're just about to offer 2 more places. We did a survey on our staff to see when they're likely to retire and see where there were gaps, and we tried to fill those gaps by bringing people in early rather than wait till the last minute.